All right, today we're talking about a massive shift happening in crypto. I'm talking about a multi-trillion-dollar migration. It's all about on-chain futures. So let's break down what that actually means and, why you should care. So, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the sheer scale we're dealing with. Most people think crypto trading is just buying and selling Bitcoin or some altcoin, right? Spot trading. But the reality? That's just a tiny piece of the pie. A whopping 75% of all trading volume, it comes from derivatives, things like futures and perps. This is the real engine of the crypto market. It's where the serious action is, where traders use leverage to make big bets on where prices are headed. And yeah, the undisputed king of all these derivatives, it's the perp, short for perpetual future. Now, just as a quick refresher for anyone who needs it, a perp is basically a contract that lets you speculate on an asset's price, up or down, without ever actually owning it. And the key thing, the reason it's so popular, is that it has no expiration date. It's super capital efficient, it's open 24/7, and honestly, it is the absolute lifeblood of crypto trading today. Okay, so this market is absolutely gigantic. But what's the revolution here? Well, for years, pretty much all of this action was completely locked away on centralized exchanges. The big names like Binance or Bybit. But that's changing, and it's changing fast. We're seeing this huge migration happen right now, moving this entire multi-trillion-dollar market away from those walled gardens and onto decentralized on-chain networks. And hey, if you think this is just some niche crypto trend, just follow the money. I mean, the venture capital flowing into this space is insane. Just look at Lighter, an infrastructure startup. They just pulled in a staggering $68 million. That's not just a bet on a single company, right? That's a massive signal from some of the smartest money out there that the whole paradigm is shifting under our feet. So this really gets to the core of why this is happening. The old model, the centralized exchanges, they were basically a black box. You handed over your funds, they held them, their inner workings were totally opaque, and, well, we've all seen how that can end, right? Catastrophic failures. The new on-chain model is the polar opposite. It's transparent, you hold your own keys, it's self-custody, the whole thing is just open by design. And you gotta understand, this leap forward isn't just about moving the same old trading onto the blockchain, it's about fundamentally upgrading it. A great way to think about it, which came from the source material, is to call it the Layer 2 moment for DeFi futures. Remember how Layer 2s made Ethereum usable? Way faster, way cheaper? Well, imagine that same kind of evolutionary leap, but for the single biggest market in all of crypto. That's what's happening. So naturally, with this whole revolution kicking off, new platforms are popping up to build on this new infrastructure. And today, we're going to zoom in on one in particular, Ave.ai, because they're taking a really fascinating approach. They're all about integrating deep, heavy-duty data analytics directly into the trading experience. What they've launched is a new module called Perp Futures. And the key thing to get here is that this isn't just another standalone exchange. Nope. It's an AI-powered trading tool that's built directly into their existing analytics platform. The whole idea is to let you go from insight to action, just seamlessly. This is basically the dream workflow for any serious trader. Think about it. First, you use their on-chain analytics to spot a potential trend. Then, you dig deeper to validate that idea. You're looking at real-time data, what the big whale wallets are doing, checking funding rates to see where the money's flowing. And then, and this is the magic part, without ever leaving that interface, you execute your leveraged trade. It's the full loop, from finding the alpha to taking action all in one place. So what really gives a platform like this an edge? It's more than just convenience. It's about bringing together all these powerful tools that until now have been scattered across a dozen different websites and paid subscriptions. No more juggling tabs. Really, it boils down to three key things. First, making sure your trades are actually backed by hard data. Second, creating a single, unified experience that feels just as slick as a centralized exchange. And third, integrating professional-grade risk controls right into the platform. Let's unpack that a bit. Data-backed decisions. That means you're not just gambling. You're looking at real-time wallet inflows, funding rates, even AI-powered predictions. Unified experience. That's about giving you that clean, CX-like interface you're used to, but with the massive benefit of always controlling your own funds. And integrated risk controls, we're talking built-in stop-loss logic and proper margin management. That's a game-changer for DEXs. Okay, so take this as a real-world example. Let's say you spot a trending token. The old way, you'd have one tab open for discovery, another for deep data analysis, and a third tab for the actual exchange. It's clunky, it's slow. The new way, it's all in one screen. You discover the trend, you analyze its futures data, and you execute the trade right there. That speed, that lack of friction, that's a huge, huge advantage in these markets. All right, let's zoom back out for a second. What does a strategy like this really tell us about where trading is headed? Because this isn't just about one company's product. This is a signpost pointing to the next evolution of the entire space. And this is a really important distinction to make. You see, a lot of other projects in the on-chain futures space are focused on building the base infrastructure, the liquidity rails, so to speak. Ave.ai is taking a different approach. They're focused on what you could call the decision layer that sits on top. It's like one group is building the highway, and Ave.ai is building the super smart GPS that tells you the best way to drive on it. And that, right there, is the key takeaway. The future of trading, it isn't going to be about having the best analytics tool over here and the fastest exchange over there. No, the future belongs to the platforms that can merge all of it, discovery, deep analytics, and trade execution, into a single, seamless experience. The old silos are officially breaking down. Which leaves us with one big critical question. With billions of dollars pouring into building these new decentralized trading rails, who's going to win in the end? Is it the people building the fundamental infrastructure, or is it the people building the intelligence layers on top that actually help traders win? The race is definitely on.